What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Tio and Tito podcast. I'm your host. We're your hosts,
Just you.
Tito and Tio. How's it going, man?
Good and chilling. It's been a while.
It it really has been like normally like between the pod. I mean, we were good at the beginning of the podcast, right? We were recording weekly, maybe
Yeah.
every other week, but and even then in between we were talking just outside the podcast. But this time, since we last recorded, we haven't really talked at all.
Yeah. This is our opportunity to catch up now.
Yeah. So today's episode is going to be focused on what's
What's new?
happened in August
I know,
because
man. August has
we
been
really
crazy.
yeah, yeah. So what's been going on? What's
Bro, start of school, man. It's been crazy.
mm,
I was not ready for everyone going to school, and Toby just started TK, so he's going every day now, so I'm sure it's a big change for him, but man, it's crazy. It like it hit me all at once, and I think I texted you the other day. You asked me how I was doing. I was like, dude, it's been crazy lately, just because now he's going to school every day, and we have the daycare for the girls, and and so Lily can like go and do her work stuff,
mm,
and now the girls are starting gymnastics, and Toby's doing gymnastics. So literally, like almost every day this week after school we had activities going on, and now I feel like we're slowly getting into that mode because both Lily and I are like active and we like sports and stuff, so we assumed
mm.
our kids are going to be in extracurriculars, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. So yeah,
Uh,
they're already like doing all this stuff, and I'm like, this is nuts. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's cool being there and being able to see like the girls interact at a little kids gymnastics class, and seeing Toby do his like ninja his like Ninja Warrior Junior. Like that's what he's doing, and he was so excited for his first class too. It was funny. Like that morning, we were telling him over the weekends, like, oh yeah, you're gonna start your classes. It's gonna be like a ninja class, and he was like super excited. Literally Monday morning, like right at 7 after his sound turns off, which means he can leave his room. He just bursts into our room. He's like, I'm a ninja. I was like, oh man, okay. So he's definitely excited for that class. But yeah, so I think that's one aspect of August that just kind of hit us all of a sudden.
And is Toby still a good shepherd?
No. So he started TK at public school now.
Public school. So where is he going? What school now?
It's out here in the Poway district, for
Okay,
Chaparral, but it's
Chaparral.
it's really cool. It's a good school. Um, Slowly like trying to just understand what like the differences between going from a private school to a public school.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
even
there's so many nuances to that too, right? I
yeah,
mean, just outside of private versus public, but the shift in going 2 times a week or however many times Toby was going at Good Shepherd
yeah,
versus going every single day now for him.
yeah, it's big for him too, because like you can tell he comes home from school every day now, and he needs to decompress, right?
Mm,
So he comes home, he needs to relax a bit. He'll play video games or something before like doing another active activity, and I think it's because at school he just needs to be on all the time, right?
mm.
He's listening, he's following directions, and we need to kind of give him his space when he gets home to kind of decompress.
Yeah, yeah.
And even at his age, like I know like sometimes I feel like that after work, like I just need to take a break real quick and before like give myself a pep talk before going downstairs to hang out with the kids. But and I feel like he needs that too sometimes, just to center himself. So yeah, and it's a big jump because in at private school it's almost like, especially with how involved we were at that parish,
Hmm.
they like Lily would get like text messages throughout the day, not just from Des, like some of the other teachers that we knew there would just like message her like pictures of the girls and stuff, and we would know like kind of what they were doing, like right,
Inside it,
and what
inside
Toby's doing,
knowledge.
yeah. So we knew what they were doing throughout the day, and now it's just like the only info we can really get is from Toby, like what did you do
Mm.
today, like
Yeah.
And we don't want to straight up ask him like, how was school, because that's too much of an open-ended question. So we
Yeah.
have to ask him like, who did you talk to today, who did you eat with, like to like get information out of him to see how his day actually went.
Right.
So
And put the pieces together yourself.
yeah, so it's kind of it's different in that aspect. And then like making lunch every day, just like something little, right?
Mm,
But like we would make lunch and stuff for them before, when they would go to daycare twice a week. But now it's like it has to be part of our daily routine now. In the evenings,
yeah.
we need to make the lunch, right? Or the snack. It was at first. So the public school system now has, in California at least, has lunch for everyone, right? For all the kids. And at
Mm.
first, Toby was taking the hot lunch. We filled out the forms and everything so he can get it for free. But I think he got upset because the lines are too long, and
Oh, dang.
he's used to just getting his lunch, eating, and then going to play.
Yeah.
And at first he has an option between like three different things, right? So it's like two hot items,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like a vegetarian option, which is like yogurt and like fruit and some other stuff. And that vegetarian option is pretty much the same every day. And he
Mm.
likes yogurt, so he was just picking the vegetarian option every day. And and I was like, Toby, you're eating too much yogurt. And he's like, but I don't like the other lunches, and I just want to play. I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, I guess we have to make him his lunch now so he can play. But and we
Yeah.
don't mind doing that for him. But we just wanted to give him the opportunity to kind of do what everyone else is doing, right? If everyone's getting hot lunch, we kind of want him to follow suit,
Mm-hmm.
right? To not like stand out as much. But at the same time, if he really wants to, that's fine. But the transition, some days are easier than others. Dropping
Yeah.
him off, like one day I went to go drop him off and he was fine, and he got in line, he went in, said bye, and went to play. And then other times he's almost like on the verge of tears because he doesn't want to go in. And I think he's
Mm.
slowly realizing that it's something that's going to be every day,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and also it's not an option,
Right.
right?
It's not a temporary thing.
Yeah,
Well, temporary, it's you go for, the school year, but that's
yeah,
long term temporary.
yeah. So that transition's been hard for him, but
Yeah.
he I mean, we're it's been hard for us, but we're just slowly getting into the rhythm. And him as much as us, we're kind of learning from each other. It
Yeah.
was actually funny yesterday. I was in the gym with Lily. The girls were at daycare and he was at school, and we got a phone call from his school already, second week.
Oh.
And we're like, oh man, what happened? And so she saw it was the school. She like left the gym real quick to pick up the phone, and I was just like trying to listen. And apparently he fell off the bench while he was eating, and I don't know what he was doing, but he fell off, he hit his head, he went to the nurse's office, and like this whole thing. And Lily was like, well, is he fine? Because the nurse was asking if we wanted to go pick him up, and Lily's like, is he okay? He's like, he seems fine, he just wants to get back to class. I'm like, just let him go back to class then.
If that's all right.
But
Yeah. Well.
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like maybe if he were at the private school at Good Shepherd, they would have asked us to come pick him up,
Mm.
right? And they're, I don't know. It's just a little different, right?
Right.
And he was fine. I mean, he came home. He showed me the bruise on his head, but and yeah, and he was okay. But it's just, I don't know. The stories are already building up. We hear from him like, "Oh yeah, I played with this guy today." He's like, "Oh, I don't like this other kid." I was like, "Okay." He's already making friends and enemies, I guess. But I
Good
mean,
stuff, man.
yeah. But
Well,
we wanted him to start TK in the public school. We're probably gonna stick with the public school system. Private school's too expensive. I wish Catholic private school was not that expensive.
mm-hmm.
But the reality is that it is. So we're probably going to stick to public school. But the really cool thing that we also found out about the Poway School District is they do offer homeschool programs through the district. So if we
Oh,
do decide to do that later on down the line, we would do that. But as of now, I think we kind of like the structure of him going into the classroom, especially since it's just half a day.
yeah.
If we find out later on that's not how he best learns, and we'll figure it out from
It'll
there.
just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it seems like with everything that happened during COVID, they kind of put this program into place to allow students to be homeschooled,
Homeschooled. Yep.
but still with a teacher, right? Like I think depending on the grade levels, they go in like once a week, or as they get older, they go in once a month. And they obviously still have school trips. They have to do extracurriculars and stuff like that with other kids, but most of it is at home, self-taught, or I guess the parents do the instructions, right? But
Mm.
I think that was really cool because it's something, especially um, as parents, we like to have options, right?
Yep.
We like to have a little bit more control over what uh what our kids are going to be learning, and
Mm.
I think the fact that public schools are slowly starting to give that power back to the parents is pretty cool.
Mm.
And now like we also were trying to get involved, right? Be like there's something called uh
Room dad
the
or room
room
parents.
parents, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lily just signed up for it, and yeah, like we just want to be involved as much as possible, right? So it's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
man.
It's exciting. It's new,
Good.
but it's keeping us busy.
Yeah, with I mean with the school year coming up, our because we watch a lot of kid content on social media, our algorithms have changed. A lot of new school year stuff, and Angel and I often talk about like, man, we don't know how we're gonna be like when the boys or when Isaiah, first leaves for school. Like we're just gonna be in distraught and like just not wanting him to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
And,
For
uh,
for what it's worth, I think having Toby in preschool, having him in daycare and stuff, really helped.
ease transition.
Yeah, helped us with the transition as parents, being able to kind of leave him somewhere and understand who those adults are, and have that trust. But
Yeah.
also I think it helped him with the transition a lot. I've seen other kids his age, especially at that first day of TK. You can tell
Mm,
some kids have never been left at a daycare or something,
yeah.
and TK was their first time, and you could see parents crying, you could see children crying sometimes. Like I definitely saw like a couple parents that were like teary-eyed, and the kid was just like fine. They're like, okay,
Oh,
bye, I'm gonna go play now.
that's Isaiah, dude.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
right.
Isaiah.
The you guys in Isaiah.
Yep.
And then obviously we were more okay with it because again, we had the daycare transition, but
Yeah.
there were some kids that, and the teacher prepared us for this. So the first day she actually had us go in with our students, start the day with them, and then
Mm,
at one point they all like sat aside for like story time or something, and then they say bye to us, so we all leave, right? um
okay.
and that's the point where you saw a lot of kids crying. Some parents were like hesitant to leave the room, and
Hmm.
me and Lily were like, bye
Bye.
Toby, and Toby's like, see ya. uh
Uh,
but yeah, but some kids like they just wouldn't let up, and they keep crying, and they had to be removed from the room, and they had to talk it out, right, with the parents,
yeah.
and there were extra aides helping out, especially with TK the first week, just to help the kids with that transition, because yeah, I mean it's a lot for them.
Yeah. Well,
Are you gonna be okay with
obviously,
it?
I don't know, man. Angel and I go back and forth, and we say like I'm gonna be the parent who's like in shambles and in tears, and Angel's gonna be the tough one. But she could easily be that parent too. We could both
Yeah,
be it. I don't know. We won't know until we get there,
yeah,
right? Um, you know,
it,
obviously Isaiah isn't old enough yet to be going to school, but
yeah,
uh, we are, we would like to get him into a program or preschool of some sort for those same reasons, right?
yeah,
To kind of ease us in, to ease him in.
yeah.
And good.
I was gonna say we noticed, like, especially easing him in with Toby, like the first day that he got in, he found his name right away. He's like, oh, that's me. And one of the
Mm,
teachers was like, oh, he can read already. I was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, I mean he can't read, but he
he
recognizes his
recognizes.
name,
Yeah,
and I think that just gives them like a step up, because in daycare, even though it's just a daycare, um, they're still gonna be teaching them stuff, right? And they do story
yeah,
time, and they're learning and they're interacting with other kids. I think that was our biggest thing. Like We wonder how he's going to interact with other people, with other kids.
Right. Right.
And I think that having him at daycare really helped with that. And we recommend to all young parents to put them in some type of preschool. It doesn't need to be like a daily thing. Like we only had him in Tuesdays and Thursdays for half a day, but I
Mm-hmm.
think having them in something that, if anything, it better prepares them. And obviously, there's that emotional attachment with you. I remember I was a mess when we left Toby at daycare for first time. I was like, I don't know anyone, even though I know Des and who was in
Yeah.
charge at the time, and she's a good friend. I was still like, oh man, like leaving him somewhere else for the day. It sucks. But you slowly get used to it, but also you start seeing how much they progress,
Yeah.
and you can start seeing the value in it. But it really depends where you're taking them, right? Like
Yeah.
at Good Shepherd, I knew they were taking him to mass once a week, right? They're doing prayers with them, so it's stuff that I would do with them. Now that he's at public school, we have to make more of a conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm good. And this is something my parents did with me, where I give him a blessing before he goes into school. We do a little
Mm,
prayer, right? And we do the sign of the cross, and then he goes in. And when he gets back, like, make sure we're praying before every meal. Don't let him forget his faith, right?
mm-hmm.
Because when you're in a private school, there's a constant reminder in the background, right? Even
Right.
like all the drawings you do, the coloring, the stuff they would come back with was like Jesus during Easter, and all that stuff. And they're not going to get that same thing in a public school. So just
Mm-hmm.
reminding them what their faith is, what our faith is, where our morals are based. I think that's kind of something we have added importance to, because we need
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that he doesn't forget that about himself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna say with Isaiah, I think for us, we're more keen on him going to daycare or some kind of program for more, I think, socialization. I mean, we know he likes learning.
Mm-hmm.
Desiree got us these classroom charts. They have like the alphabet, animals, and things of that stuff, and we just posted it on our wall. Literally, it's like right by my side here,
Nice.
and he loves to go to it, and he's doing his alphabet. He's sounding out letters. He's doing sign language, and this is all like
That's
within this
awesome.
last month.
I
And
know it's so
so
fast.
yeah, yeah, and he's picked up books, and he loves to read. He loves when we read to him, and a lot of the videos we're watching now, are they're really more educational. I mean, he was watching like Miss Rachel and Blippi, and to an extent, right? They're more or less they are educational, but the videos that he's really into now, it's like sounding out the letters,
Mm.
associating the letters with an animal or an object, things of that sort. And so we're really enjoying this stage in his in his life where he's on his own making an effort to learn these things without us having to force that upon him, which is great. And I feel like Angel and I are having like full on conversations with him now. We're able to understand what he wants and vice versa. I mean, we were able to do that prior to, but even more so now. It's he's really great with his receptive language, and he's really great about communicating back to us what he needs or what he wants or what he doesn't want. Uh, so that's crazy, dude. It's just
Yeah.
like I feel like it was
It's
just
such a
accelerated
sponge.
this month, this
Yeah.
last month. Um,
That won't
and
stop for
just
a while. I
yeah,
remember with Toby, and also with the girls. It just they just start picking stuff up really quickly
yeah.
from anything they hear, anything they see, and
Hmm.
it's awesome.
Yeah, he's in that repeat everything you say kind of stage. So now Angel like are being extra mindful of what we say because before,
Yeah.
it's just no filter really, but we have to be mindful now of what we're saying.
Speak.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this kid, he started saying, this happened yesterday. He started saying, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I'm like, where did you hear that? Because Lily and I don't say that. And I was like, first of all, stop saying that. You're using the Lord's name in vain. And then I'm like, but where did you hear it? He's like, school. I was like, oh dang,
Oh.
okay. I was like, well, you don't have to repeat everything someone else says, and you had to have that whole discussion with him.
Hmm.
But now today he was saying, "Oh my gosh," which is fine, but he's correcting himself. But I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
dang it, like we have to be careful with
the
this
other
kid.
side,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, just
yeah,
and I mean, there's nothing we can do. He's gonna hear stuff at school. That's gonna happen,
yeah.
right? That's typically where we all learn profanity. Uh,
Hmm.
but over time, we just need to stay on correcting him, and because yeah, I mean, they might learn stuff that we don't want them to learn, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
Well, and then Josiah, he turned 3 months old this month, so that's
So
been
fast.
great. So fast, he's starting to sleep through the night. And
Congratulations.
it just happened randomly one day. We didn't like we are following a schedule
A
of some
plan, yeah.
sorts, but it wasn't as rigorous or as strict as with Isaiah. I mean, it's like we're the typical family. Like once you have your second kid, it's like your everything is just
Yeah.
like more relaxed for some reason.
Yeah.
But one night, Josiah just started sleeping through the night. We're like, okay, it could have been a fluke, but ever since that first night, he's been sleeping through the night, and we were just like, what the heck happened? Just like a switch flipped in him.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, we're very happy about that. Um, but yeah, he looks like a completely different kid. He's so long, so tall.
I know, I've seen the
Um,
pictures. He's like, I don't know, like around that age they start like growing into their face. You start seeing even like their personality
oh
with
yeah,
certain things. Like it's so cool.
yeah. This kid is like super smiley, and I love it, dude. It's a great stage.
Yep.
But also it's like stop growing up so fast. But seeing them to interact, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Isaiah loves his brother. And Josiah might be like, dude, back up. Like
Yeah.
you're always in my face. But he's always want to give Josiah kisses and say hello. Like today, Josiah was on the floor just doing like some tummy time, and Isaiah was like wanted to be up in his bubble, and he's Isaiah is not aware of like how heavy he is, so uh, you know, he accidentally like went to kneel and kind of grazed Josiah's head as he
Oh.
was kneeling, and so it freaked Josiah out a little bit, and so we're having to tell Isaiah like, hey, dude, like
Yeah,
you,
be
you gotta
careful.
be careful. Like yeah, you're a little heavy for your brother, so just be careful where you're stepping. And of course, Isaiah just wants to be close to his brother. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't really care what we're saying. But it's a great stage right now, man. It's even though there's a lot going on, with the two kids. It's nice again to be able to work from home to witness all that like on the side, but
Hmm.
also be able to just get off of work and kind of just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I know some days, like similar to you, like some days, I mean, even like more recently, I feel like I, there is a time where I feel like I need to decompress, but it's hard to do that when there's no like
Barrier.
physical separation
Yeah.
or yeah, like I literally work in the living room, so I
Yeah.
see everything. I'm a part of everything, and I can't just leave Angel hanging. So
Yeah.
sometimes, some days, like I just have to jump right into it, and uh, but it's all worth it. I
Yeah.
think in the end,
Have you have you ever, this has happened to me, this is why I ask. Have you ever been like on a work call or something and you hear the kids crying in the background and you're just like, I want to go help, like, and
Yeah,
I don't know,
dude.
it eats me up inside every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know uh it has happened. And sometimes, Angel gets frustrated because I know she feels bad, but I'm like, dude, no, it's a part of working from home.
Yeah,
And there's nothing that
we
I
all
can do about
understand
it.
it. Yeah.
There's nothing that you can do about it. So like it's okay. Like I'll let you know when it's a distraction. But if the baby's crying, you can't do anything about it. And
Yeah.
you can't be in two places at once. Like there are days where both boys just need her at the same time. And there's some times where she can't cater to them both. She's busy doing things.
Yeah.
Um so but yeah, there are definitely times where, when I'm not on calls, I step away to help out when I
Hmm.
can. But other than that, the Angel's killing it. On the days she's alone, like we have my mom come in twice a week, which is a great help.
Oh
But
yeah.
on the days where she's by herself, she's awesome. She's killing it. So
That's
uh
dope.
yeah.
Good job, Angel. Super mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's we're definitely blessed with two amazing wives that just get it done.
Yep. Yep.
I wanted to ask you earlier this month. I'm changing the subject a bit, but
Hmm.
uh, we were out up visiting my parents in LA, and you guys asked to stay at our house. Did you guys like power go out or something? That's what Lily told me.
Oh my, was it
But
this
like
month?
obviously like I trust you guys and everything's fine. You're like, hey, like do you guys mind if we stay over? And me and Lily are like, yeah, it's like we're not home. You guys, I just assumed it was too hot, and we have the like brand new AC, so it's like, oh, they
Yeah.
probably just want to be in the AC, like relax.
Yeah, so what happened was this was a
It
Friday.
was like early August, yeah.
Yeah, Friday. SD Genia was like, "Oh, we have a scheduled power outage,"
Oh,
and so we're like, and it was Friday. Oh no! Sorry, backtrack. The original notice said it was going to happen Thursday late night into Friday early morning.
okay,
So it's okay. So during the middle of the night, that's fine.
yeah.
So then we wake up the next morning and we check the SDG notice and find out that they started the project late or their maintenance late and the power hasn't been restored yet. So we're here Friday morning, and there's no power.
Jeez.
And so we're like, well, okay, well, luckily it's Friday, typically a slower day for me, so
Yeah.
we manage. I do what I can from home. But then we end up going to Angel's Dad, I believe, is where we went to. Just because it was hot, so we needed a cooler place to stay and somewhere where I can get work done with internet. Uh, Finally power gets restored later that afternoon on Friday, but then there's a new notice that comes up that says the maintenance has to continue on Monday.
Oh man.
Uh, and I forget if it was like Monday. I think they told us straight up it was going to be 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and it was going to be in the middle of the day. And so we already knew that weekend that we had to plan accordingly. And so we
Okay,
recalled that you guys were going to be out of town, and so we just hit you up guys up and like,
that worked
hey,
out.
oh yeah, can we just stay at your place just because it's one, it's hot, two, there's no internet, so it made sense to get out, dude. We were looking at Airbnbs,
Oh,
we were looking at hotels, and like that weekend we were
I
just
bet a
like,
lot of
man,
people were in the same boat.
yeah, no, it was annoying, dude. And yeah, we were just stressing out, and then it finally just clicked like, wait, aren't the Kuroses out of town?
I
But
mean, you
I
guys
only
could have stayed with us even if we were here.
Yeah, right. But I think I only knew you guys were out of town because um I hit you up, or I forget, you told me you were out of town
It was
because
for
I
work.
asked you.
I think
Yeah.
you hit me up because because on Friday I needed something from you for work or something, and
Uh-huh.
then you asked if I can get on a call, and I said like I'm at my parents, so I'd have to be on my phone or something like that. And then
Yeah.
that's when you realized I was at my parents.
Yeah. And so yeah, I would have never known that you guys were out of town, but
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, you guys would have totally accommodated us even if you guys were home.
of course.
Um but yeah, dude, it worked out, and it was I that was like my first real taste of being separated from Angel and the boys, while being able to work, because I worked in the room, right, and
Mm-hmm.
then Angel and the boys stayed downstairs,
Mm,
and so I had the door shut and everything, and I was like, dude, this is weird.
yeah,
Not hearing what's going on, and uh but I mean, it must have been a busy week because I remember just being up there and just cranking stuff out and not
yeah,
even thinking about the boys and Angel. And so when I would go down, it was like a legit, like, nice relief, a nice break, a nice separation
yeah,
from work, because I can step out the door, step out of the room, and I feel like
yeah.
I had that physical separation from work.
Yeah,
Um,
it's nuts when the like computer's staring at you, right?
yeah, yeah,
When you're in the same room, because I remember thinking that too before. Like I need to separate. I don't necessarily need to separate my family from where I work. I want to separate my work from where my family is. I don't want to
mhm,
have that in the back of my mind as I'm playing with the girls, right? Or like I don't know, playing video games with Toby or reading something. Like I don't want that like lingering off to the corner. But
yeah,
it definitely helps separating it that way.
yeah. Because even when we're at home, again, my office setup is in our living room. So when I separate from the computer, you know, I'm just a couple steps away, and sometimes I hear, I hear my team is ping, or I hear an email come in. I'm like, crap, dude, like I literally just walked away.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me to kind of just turn around and come back to it, just because I got to make sure it's like nothing important, or for me it's just, let me just knock this out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's always a reason to continue knocking things out,
There's always
and
gonna be work to do.
exactly. And I try and be mindful of that, but also I'm just like, I think of it as like I'm trying to prepare myself for success, so that
Yeah.
when I come back to work, whether it's after a break the next day, whatever it is, like I'm coming back with like a fresh, clean slate.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's just so much work, like there has been this month, like it's just not possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
But never, like I said, it was a nice uh or it was a nice break to be able to have that. But I also missed just being with the family.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I get that.
But yeah, so that was our power outage. But how was staying with your parents?
It's always nice staying with my parents. We're about to go up again for the long weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's getting easier and easier to stay with them because my mother is slowly purchasing more stuff to just leave there. So this is the first time that Lily mentioned this earlier. This is the first time we're actually able to go to my parents' house without packing a bag for the kids. And it's just for the
What?
long weekend, but my mom has now bought like enough clothes for them. They have pack and plays there. They have blankets. They have toys. They literally have everything. We still do the whole thing where like we'll order diapers to be
Send it over there.
shipped there. So this is the
Yeah.
first time we're actually like we're literally just picking up Toby from school, and heading straight there, and we don't have to pack a bag for the kids. So it just makes it so much
Hey.
easier. And a note to any parents out there or any grandparents out there: you want your grandkids to visit more, just have everything for them there. Honestly, like that is just it's a no-brainer for us, right? To go on a
Yeah.
weekend, cuz before it was like if we're going to do all this packing for all these kids, like we need to go for like a week to make it worth it,
Yeah.
right? So
Packing
unless
all
we
stuff.
have
Yeah.
vacation time or the kids are like out of school or something, like we wouldn't go for like months, right? But now that we're able to just like go for a weekend and come back because it's easy. We don't have to spend all these hours like packing plays and then getting diapers and like packing up all their toys, all their
Mm-hmm.
books, like all like there's so many little things that you don't think about,
Mm-hmm.
and like having all that just there already, it's just
Yeah.
so much easier. Like we even have like a camera there already, like the little webcams, right? Like this thing. Like I'm watching the ghost right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But having any like all that stuff already set up there, so it's good to go. And now like even just if she says, hey, like the girls should come over for the weekend, we're like, you have everything, just come pick them up, take them, you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was one of the nice things about, or it's always one of the nice things when we have to stay at your place or when we visit you guys.
Yeah,
It's you all
it's
have
there.
like 95% of the things that we need. I mean, because even when we were there for the 2 days, I mean, granted we brought our laundry over, but the car gets so packed. We have
Yeah.
to bring a wagon just to load everything, unload everything, load everything back up. And it's just 2 days, and you
Yeah.
have a lot of the stuff already, and so just imagining having to check in at a hotel or Airbnb, just we'd have to like pack twice the amount of things.
Yeah.
So we're so thankful that we didn't have to. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it
nice.
is helpful
Yeah.
to
Yep. But yeah,
have that stuff.
that was fun. It was pretty cool going up that weekend because we went the weekend. We stayed a few days into the week
Uh,
because Lily got an opportunity to go to Coffee
right.
Fest. I think it was like
Yeah.
Coffee Fest. So she has her small business. She's a coffee consultant, and we really want to focus on her business, building that out. So she was able to go to Coffee Fest and work, right.
Yeah.
And my sister and my mom were able to help with the kids while I worked from my parents' house. So it was a really cool opportunity to kind of let her get out of the house and focus on her business and doing her.
Hmm.
And obviously she gets that on Tuesdays and Thursdays when she drops off the girls at daycare. That's the reason we have them in daycare. But having like just those dedicated days to just herself, I think really helps, right? Especially for her mental, because she really enjoys work, and she
Yeah.
enjoys working. So we're luckily able to do something like that, right? So yeah, it was really cool. It was a cool trip. Um, it's always interesting when Lily's gone and I'm working, because my mom still has to like ask me questions about the kids, like, oh, can they eat this? Can they do that? And I'm like in a call, like, yeah, like yes, no, like just letting her know, like thumbs up, thumbs down. But for the most part, she's fine with them, right? And if anything, they just eat too much junk. But that's what grandparents are for.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, like when my mom stays over, I mean, she's kind of similar. She still asks if certain things are okay or whatnot, but uh, it's again we're so thankful to have her twice a week. But like for example, this morning Isaiah, uh, he's really he knows he lets us know when he's hungry. He's just like eat, 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 and he
yeah,
won't stop until he gets food. And I swear, like this morning, he had like three breakfasts. Uh, he just kept telling my mom that he wants to eat. And sometimes it's because he doesn't like the food that he had originally, so he doesn't finish it, so he wants something new. But this time, he actually finished his food and then just wanted to have more food. And I was like, oh man. But like, we tell her like, if he'll like he's not gonna tell us he wants to eat just because he wants to eat. At least that's what we want to believe. That's what we want to hope. Sometimes I feel like it is just because he's bored, but I think in this case it was warranted. But it's just funny.
yeah,
Uh, just like your comment about eating junk. I mean, he's not. We have like we try and bring like have him. We try and like have healthy snacks for him. Like we have fruit, we have yogurt.
yeah,
But like this morning, my mom was having like a Filipino breakfast, and that's what he wanted to eat, and that's what he ate.
yeah. Breakfast is always hit or miss with us,
Yeah.
and I make breakfast every morning, and I'll
Mm.
try to switch it up, but typically like they just want Eggos and eggs, like scrambled eggs, which is fine. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy eggs, but sometimes like I'll give them exactly that, and they just don't want it, and they're
Mm-hmm.
asking for like a banana or a bar, and I'm like
Uh-huh.
over here like thinking about my mom and like stuff she would say to me as a kid. I'm like, I spent all this time making you breakfast. I'm like, nope, I don't want to say it. I'm not gonna say it. But I totally understand my parents now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny. It's funny when it comes full circle like that. But
Yeah.
breakfast this morning was super successful. Lily found at the store maple spam. Is
Is it
delicious.
made? Is
Is
it made by Spam?
it? Yeah, it was
Hold on.
delicious.
I gotta
We
look this
legit
up.
had it with Eggos, and it was like the kids ate it up. Spam. I made eggs too, and it was just amazing. Like, not gonna lie.
Maple.
Look, I got it right here. Like
Oh, hold on.
maple spam right there.
Oh, snap! What the?
Delicious.
That's
Honestly, like
new.
it was that and Eggo and some eggs, and they had syrup on their Eggo, and the girls like cream cheese on their waffles. But man, they all just had such a like a big hefty breakfast before going to school today, and I was like, all right, like this worked. And it's funny because we track macros, right?
Uh,
And so I thought like, oh, maybe it has more calories than like the spam that we get, right? Like we get spam light a lot of times, but that
uh,
one it only had like 1 gram more of carbs and like 10 more calories. And we're like, this is
dude,
just get this. Like,
it's
hey,
only
we
two nine.
don't eat spam every day, but like
Yeah,
for the occasions that we do, like yeah, I mean, and the kids eat spam regardless, but they're just all over this. We loved it. It's really good.
it's
It's
only
really
2.98 on Amazon.
Yeah. Order it, dude.
Bam. Yeah, look, there's this picture of what uh the acronym of what spam is. It says sizzle pork and
That is exactly what spam is.
sizzle pork and I never heard of that before. Wow.
It's delicious. And it has like a perfect crust on it. Well, spam already
because of the
does it.
sugar.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
because of the sweetness in it, but it's not too sweet. It's not like drenched in syrup, right?
Uh-huh.
It has the maple flavor in it.
That's wild.
10
Okay.
out of 10. Recommend.
Damn.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Good stuff. Learn something new.
Yep. But yeah,
Uh.
that was the excitement of today, really.
A good way to close out August, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Oh man. Dude, it's crazy that we're approaching the Burr months.
Mm.
September, October, November, December. 4 more months and it's already a new year.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. I haven't been on social media today, but I'm looking forward to seeing all the "Wake Me Up When September Ends" memes.
Oh, that's right. Especially us as millennials.
Uh-huh.
That's yep. I hadn't thought of that.
Just as popular as the "It's Gonna Be May" memes.
Yep. Yep.
So
What else?
yeah.
What else happened in August? The storm, the hurricane.
Oh dang, dude! How can we forget?
Bro, it didn't even. Nothing happened here.
Oh,
It's
oh,
San
thank
Diego.
like let's
Thank
let's
God. Yes.
let's be
Yeah.
thankful that nothing happened, but that was a trip.
We. I don't
Uh,
know. We were. How prepared were you guys for this hurricane?
so I kept telling everyone, there were two types of people. There were the ones that were like, okay, let's buy all the toilet paper, all the water, all the groceries that we can, and then there were people that are like, I'm gonna just take off the pillows and the furniture off my backyard. Um, and so I think we were like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like we stocked up on stuff. Like we had water bottles. We make sure we had like toilet paper. And that was about it. We
Yeah.
just stocked up on groceries. We didn't like fill up our tubs up with water and we didn't have pots of water just on hand
Ready.
and yeah. So that was like the extent of our readiness. We have an emergency kit. We have like
Yeah.
an AM FM radio, flashlights. We had that stuff already, so we had that prepared, charged up and whatnot.
We were.
But that was about it.
We were definitely like TikTok survivalists. Like for the week ahead, Lily and I just kept sending each other TikToks on how to prepare for the hurricane, and we would just do those. We like didn't really do research. We're just like, oh, this guy's from like Florida and says this is what they do on a hurricane. Oh, we should probably
uh
do that. So yeah, so we were okay on toilet paper. We bought just one case of water bottles. But I used distilled water for my CPAP machine, so we just
uh
filled like the big gallons of water, and we just had those ready. We also one thing we were worried about is our fridge, because we have a fridge in the garage, because we
mm,
buy like the big chunks of meat from Costco and butcher it ourselves. So we
yeah,
have like all this meat in the freezer. So like if the power goes out, like we do not want this meat to all like defrost, right?
yeah,
And get bad. So we like froze like the gallon sized bags of like Ziploc bags with water and a bunch
uh
of water bottles.
made your own
So
ice packs.
yeah, so basically like if the power went out, all that stuff would be fine. And and yeah, and we just make sure we had batteries and stuff in the house,
Yeah,
and like we were prepared for the storm. And we're like, in case like it gets bad, like what's our game plan? Like, okay,
yeah,
we go into the downstairs bathroom, like that's the like most secure place in our home, so that this is where we're gonna go, and this is what we're gonna do. This is the game plan. So we're on the same page. We weren't like hysterical. Like I
yeah.
know a lot of people were, like you could see people like the lines at the grocery stores and stuff,
Hmm.
but we were chill. Like I think the Saturday we do cheat day. It was funny. The Saturday before, we went to our taco shop that we usually go to right here on the corner, and I called to put in our normal order, and it they weren't picking up. I was like, oh, that's weird. Like I wonder if they're preparing for the hurricane or something, right?
Right.
So I just grabbed Toby. I was like, hey, let's go just order the food there. So we drive over, and there's like a bunch of people there, right? And then I talked to the guy in the front, because they recognize me now because we're regulars. I was like, hey, like what's going on? And he's like, I don't know, everyone's just like coming in and buying a bunch of food for the weekend. And he's like, we just like completed an order of like 10 super burritos. So I was like, people are
Jeez.
crazy. Like, is that gonna
I
like
remember. I remember like one of your retweets, like it freaked me out. It was a dude who was like from Louisiana, or he was from SoCal, moved over to Louisiana, talking about experience with hurricanes, and he was like,
Oh,
anything category,
yeah,
yeah,
Deadly Dill, the gamer.
yeah,
Yeah,
anything category 3, I recommend you all evacuating. And at that
yeah,
time, Hurricane Hillary was at a category 4, and so I
yeah,
was like, oh shit, like, do we need to? Sorry,
yeah,
do
yeah,
we need to evacuate?
yeah.
Uh, and I think I,
But
I, I
here,
was I
like,
was I was
evacuate to
late.
where?
Yeah,
Like, if
exactly.
you go more inland, it's worse. So I don't, I don't know.
But I think I was one of the late. I was late to realize that our category or our hurricane had jumped or had downgraded to a category 1.
Okay,
Um, so once we found that, okay, it's like we're okay.
yeah,
Thank goodness that it did go down. But yeah, it was a trip. Man, so much has
yeah.
happened. I totally forgot that that was a thing.
It,
I remember like I mean I wasn't losing sleep, but it was definitely on top of mind, right?
yeah,
Like we're going to sleep and like who knew what we're gonna wake up to the next morning, right?
yeah,
Like things could have been in shambles. Thankfully, it was just like more rain,
yeah.
for us at least,
It was
more rain and more
funny.
wind.
It was funny because my parents are in LA. So
Mm,
like Sunday morning, they called, right? As we're getting ready for mass, because we're like, it hasn't started raining yet. It's been downgraded. We're like, we'll just go to an early mass, go to church, like hang out, like we'll be there for a bit, like come back home in the rain, whatever, and then we'll just settle down for the day.
hmm.
And my parents called me Sunday morning from LA, and they're like, "Hey, like, just checking in on you guys. Like, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of sunny out. Like, we're getting ready to go to mass." And they're like, "Are you kidding? It's been raining here for hours. It's like a downpour." I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're nothing's happening here." I was like, stay inside, stay safe." But my dad, it's like he's used to it because he's Costa Rican. So he's
Hmm.
like, it just feels like Costa Rica, and I thought that too with the way it rained here in the evening. Like it was a downpour, like it rained like crazy, but it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, it just felt like being in the tropical weather back in Costa Rica in the tropical rain. So it
Hmm.
was kind of nice, kind of nostalgic. But my dad wasn't freaked out. My mom was, and at the same time, it was just like it was funny because we're like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to go to church, and they're like, stay inside, like. But yeah, it was funny because once it started raining here, a bunch of kids in the neighborhood were actually outside and like their
Yeah,
rain boots and stuff and like jumping in the puddles, and we're like, oh well, yeah, I guess like it seems
that
like
was like
fun.
a lot of the memes I saw. Like, so Southern California was like how people like in the Midwest or wherever there's hurricane season, how people reacted versus how SoCal people react. Everyone's outside on like on a water slide or
Yep,
they're like on a floaty or of some sort, and yeah, it was just it's funny to see that. But I'm glad we're past that,
yep,
But yeah, it was a crazy like couple days.
yeah. We had a crazy weekend the weekend after that, because so a bunch of stuff happened all at once, and I know this happens just in life where like one thing breaks and then something else breaks, and all of a sudden you have all these expenses and all this stuff you have to buy. So
Mm,
the fridge that I mentioned that we have out in the back, in the garage, it actually like broke down, and the fridge side wasn't working. I think we told you when you guys stayed here, like the fridge out there
mm,
wasn't working, but the freezer side was, and so we were luckily able to go on buy nothing, and someone was getting rid of a fridge, so they just gave it to us. But
damn.
so we had to go clean that out, and then like it's a whole thing to clean because that was just a messy fridge and it was kind of gross. It had like red dye all over it. Like when we were moving it, I legit thought I was bleeding at one point. It was
The
just
current one or the one you got from Buy Nothing?
the one we got from Buy Nothing, but it
Oh, okay.
worked. But it
Yeah.
worked, and it was actually bigger than the one that we had. So we're like, we got to make it work because we're not about to go spend hundreds of dollars on a new fridge for
New fridge.
our extra stuff, right?
Hmm.
So we went out there, we got it, and it was just hours of like trying to get this thing cleaned up. And Lily's a trooper, like it was just her and I like moving this thing and cleaning it, and then we had to like move stuff in the garage to be able to get it in and out because we have all the gym stuff in there, and then we have
Hmm.
and we there was a bunch of stuff that we had to clean out of the garage to begin with anyway, so it just like kept compounding. And then and we had been looking to get a new dining table for a while now, right? And just literally right after this, like a few days after, someone posts on Buy Nothing that they're like moving or something. They're getting rid of a dining table and chairs, and they're just like, I hate to do this, but we have to pick this up. Like we have to do it. I was like, oh man. So in the process of like getting a new fridge, cleaning the fridge, we got a new dining set that we have to clean up, and to get it into the house, we have to like break it all apart, put
Oh
it back
wow.
together inside, and at the same time with three kids around, like it was just that whole week right after was like such a mess, and me and Lily were just like our anxiety levels, we were just at each other's throats for a while, but luckily like at the end of the day, every day, like we get to calm down. We talk it out. We talk through it. But it was just like, and then me, like I have my like routine that I like to keep, and
Hmm.
I couldn't go to the gym and exercise the same way I usually do, and that was like breaking up my routine. And I could feel myself get frustrated, and I'm like, I need to calm down. I need to help her get this done, and it was just like it was a whole thing. But man, we got it done. We have a huge dining room table now. Like we fit like 10 people at our dining room table. Yeah.
What?
So you guys
And they
come
gave
through.
like 10 chairs too?
Yeah, dude, we had way too many chairs. Like we had to put some away in the garage. That's how we had to move a bunch of stuff. So we have
Wow.
we so and we like to host people, right? We like to
Yeah.
that's just what we like to do. So like having that big of a table that fits all of us now, if it's all five of us,
Yeah.
and like if my parents come and my sister and like Lily's
Us.
mom, my mother-in-law, or you guys come, like we can all sit at the table and eat. Like that's legit, right?
That's cool.
So it was really dope to be able to finally get that done. And but it's crazy because it's just like all pause on like peak stress level and then just come back
Hmm.
down, and now we're like, all right, we're good. And then the kids start school. And so yeah, it was crazy, man. Crazy August.
Oh, good month. Good month. Yeah, I feel like there's so much more that happened. But it's all a blur. I think I was telling the other day, like it's like this past month, it's literally just been work, and more often than not, I was working late,
Mm,
break off, like be with the kids, put the kids down, and then Angel and I actually finally get to decompress. But there were a couple nights where I actually went back to work just because I knew I wanted to. Again, going back to just having a clean slate the next morning.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was like it was on repeat. Angel shaking her head at me. It was like that on repeat. I swear, like
Yeah.
almost every day this past month. So,
No, it happens. I mean, especially when you work for like a global company, right? You work with people from other
hmm
countries. Like
yeah,
the other day, I mean, I work right here at my desk, and like you can see my beds right behind me.
hmm
I had to join a 10:30 p.m. call, and it was only supposed to be half an hour. Of course, it went till midnight, and Lily's
Oh
like
my
right here
gosh.
sleeping. Look, and I told them like, guys, like it's too late for me. I'm not turning on my camera, right? And they were cool
Yeah.
with it. It was fine. But I was on this call until almost midnight, and I actually left. I left the call. I was like, hey guys, like it's midnight for me. Like I need a job because I have a 6 a.m. call the next day. So
Jeez.
yeah, and it's just yeah. I mean, it's a give and take,
Hmm.
and luckily like Lily and I know Angel understands, right? Like that's just the type of company we work for. We're trying to do our due diligence and make sure like we keep a job, right? We have a job at the end of the
Hmm.
day, and there's something that my dad always said growing up. It was si vas a hacer algo, hazlo bien, which means like if you're gonna do something, do it right. And I think I
Hmm.
always have that in the back of my head with like every little thing that I'm doing. So especially with work, like if
Yeah.
I have to put in the time to work anyway, I'm gonna get it done correctly.
Right.
So I think that uh, they understand that, but at the same time, I also know that if I were working too much or like putting too much time into that, and it was taking away from the family, Lily would speak up. She would say something, right?
Right. So
And
yeah.
I'm sure Angel would
And
do
with
the same.
Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also I never would want to get to that point. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to check myself
Yeah.
every now and then to just to be mindful uh that again, it's there, the work will always be there,
Yep.
but the time you get with your family, uh that uh that should take priority, right?
Obviously.
So
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, the work continues, family life continues. You know, it's a never ending cycle. So hopefully September is more gracious to us.
Yeah.
If
I think
not,
it'll
if
be
you
good.
know,
I'm
yeah,
I'm getting ready for it's still hot. It's still hot, but I'm ready for the cold. I'm ready for the
yes,
cold.
yeah.
I'm dying up
Uh,
here in this room.
so what do you anything to look forward to in September?
Uh yeah, so actually I told you I was going up this weekend to my parents. We're actually going to start preparing for my mom's birthday cuz she's turning 60. So we have to do a
Ooh,
whole thing, and
yeah.
she has a list of things she wants to get done. We have family coming from Mexico. Actually, my grandma's already here from Mexico. Yeah,
Wow.
and so it's the first time my grandma gets to meet my kids. So that's
Oh,
super. We're
really?
super
First time?
first time. Yeah, because I mean, she's
Wow.
older. She's in her late 80s, so she
Yeah.
doesn't really travel as much as she used to. So it's she's seen them on video and stuff and all
Yeah.
that, but like being
It's
able
gonna be
to,
different.
yeah, being able to like hold them and stuff, and I think it's different. Actually, I think she has met Toby. We took Toby to Mexico, but it'd be the first time for the girls really getting to like see their grandma and know who she is, right?
Yeah.
And their great grandma. It's crazy. It's crazy saying that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Good.
So yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to. And it's crazy because my mom's birthday falls on Mexican Independence Day, like the actual Independence Day.
Oh,
So it's gonna be a whole fiesta. So we're excited. It's gonna be
nice.
fun.
Good. Happy early birthday to mom.
Yep. What about you?
Well, I think I mentioned to you a while back that I'm going to New York for work, and I tried to get you to go with me, but you didn't want to come. That's cool. Uh, so Angel and I talked it out, and we made it work. So Angel's gonna come to me in New York.
Oh, nice.
Uh, yeah. So we're leaving the boys behind, so that's new for
Ooh.
us, and a little daunting new territory for Angel and
Yeah.
I. But
Just don't come back
Josiah.
pregnant again.
Oh, uh, but Josiah's gonna stay with her dad. Isaiah's gonna stay with, or my mom's gonna stay with Isaiah here. So we got this whole plan worked out. And,
Nice.
as scary as it is, we know it's gonna be a good opportunity for us
Yeah.
to have some time for ourselves and
Bond. Yeah.
just have a little break. But yeah, we know we're gonna miss the kids so much.
Yeah.
But hopefully when we're in New York, it's gonna be kind of like out of mind, out of sight, out of my out of sight, out of mind kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, knowing that they'll still be in the back of our minds, but yeah, so that's exciting. It's a bittersweet feeling at the moment, but hopefully when once we're there, we're able to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. You need that. You need that, especially because something we tell our mentor couples is uh, you guys, each other, you're your first sacrament, right? So
Hmm.
your first priority is gonna be you guys. And I know it's hard to remember that, especially with kids, like because
Hmm.
everything kind of revolves around children. But just being there to fill each other's cup, that's
Yeah,
super important, right? And being able to have that time away and just to reestablish that with yourselves, it's awesome. So I'm really excited for
yeah.
you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
fun.
that's what we have so far.
Nice New York trip. It's a good time
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I never been. Neither of us have been. We're really excited. There's a lot of food that we want to try.
Yeah,
So
just
that's
call
really
in
gonna
sick to
be.
work one day.
Oh man, no, it should be good. It should be good. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Exciting, exciting. But yeah,
S- Sweet. Anything else?
well, we started confirmation again, so that's always fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so the usually with the new school year, we start up youth ministry again. And yeah, it's awesome catching up with especially like the core team kids, the kids that have already
Hmm.
been confirmed, they're just coming back to volunteer. It's really awesome just catching up with them, seeing how they're doing. Um, it's crazy being there as I'm the oldest one there. Uh, and a lot of the time there are other catechists that'll show up sometimes that are older, but I like sometimes I feel like I have like this like the dad responsibility. Like
You have an
I'm
older?
always like making
That's
sure everyone's
crazy.
fine, everyone's okay. And
Uh,
like our youth minister is dope. Like she knows exactly what she's doing. But at the same time, I was like, these kids will see me as like the older person there, right?
right.
And it's funny because the core team has gotten to know me well enough where they'll like mess around with me, right? And they call me Eric. But the new kids that are coming in, they all call me like Mr. Kiros, right? And it's always
Ew.
still weird. It's still weird. And I'll be like, no, just call me Eric. Like I'm a volunteer here. I'm a catechist. I'm here to help you, right? And a lot of times, especially with the core team, I feel like I'm ministering more to them just because
Yeah.
they're so open to their faith right now. They're open about the stuff that they're going through. So I really
Mhm.
just want to like work stuff out with them. But at the same time, like this is all the fun that comes with starting youth ministry again, right? Like we have the basketball nights,
Uh-huh.
we have retreats coming up.
Yeah.
Even like something little like fantasy football. Like one of the kids is like, "Hey, we should start a core team fantasy football league." I was like, "Bet, like let's do this." So it's really fun. Just getting back into the rhythm of church, right,
Yeah.
and working with the youth because I know they need their break over the summer, but he also seeing them come back to something more comfortable and having that
Yeah.
safe space for them.
Yeah.
It's always fun and fulfilling. So
Good.
yeah, it's really dope. Yeah, but yeah, I think
Cool.
that's it, man.
Sweet deal,
Unless
man. Well,
you wanna do that game you planned in your
sure. Okay.
car.
Yeah. 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 Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay.
I don't know what it is. I
So
have no idea.
yeah. So it's called Wavelength. It's I learned this on the TikTok.
Okay,
Uh,
on the TikTok.
so so this is how it works.
Okay.
Um, so and for this scenario, you're gonna think of a number between 1 and 10, right? And then you're not gonna tell me. You don't have to do it right now. But just you're gonna think of a number between 1 and 10, and then I'm gonna ask you to rate 5 things. And based on your ratings of the things that I ask of you, I have to guess what number you're thinking.
Okay. It was like a mind reading thing.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
It's wavelength, mind meld, some I don't know, something like that. One of those terms. So again, 5 questions, or 5 things to rate.
Okay.
But at any time you can, uh, if you feel like you know the number, you can ask if that's the number, and then you'll tell me yes or no.
I can ask
All
if that's
right.
the number.
No,
Oh,
I
got it.
ask you
Yeah, yeah.
because
Okay.
you're thinking of the number.
Got it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Do you have a number between 1 and 10?
Yes.
Okay. So the things you can ask to rate is literally it can be anything, right? So my first one is gonna be, uh, let's see. Wait, I'm forgetting how. Oh, okay. Sorry. You're okay. So I'm gonna ask you to give me a Marvel movie, and so based on your number, like you have to think
Okay.
of
How
like
I
a
rate
Marvel
it.
movie you think how you rate it exactly. So
Got it.
give me a Marvel movie.
That I would rate a 4.
No, you
Oh,
weren't supposed to tell me the number.
let's do a different number. But
Okay.
let's say the number was 4. So I give you a
Yes.
Marvel movie that I would rate a 4.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I would have to know.
New
I would
number.
have to know. I would have to know that you're rating it out of 4.
Got it. New
So
number.
the tricky part is like I might think the movie you're giving me is a 10, right? But that's like
Yes.
the whole point of the game. Okay,
Got it.
new number.
Established. New number.
Okay, Marvel movie.
Marvel movie. Iron Man 2.
Oh, damn it! I'm biased because I love Iron Man, but Iron Man 2 is pretty mid. Uh, okay. So at any point too, I'm gonna like I'll say a number out loud, but you don't have to confirm if that's right or wrong yet. I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
So for Iron Man 4, or for Iron Man 4, for Iron Man 2, I'm thinking right now it's at a 5, but we'll see. Uh, flavor of ice cream.
Mint chip.
Oh, you like mint chip though.
Do I?
I think I'm gonna stick it at a 5. I'm gonna stick it at a 5.
Okay.
Uh, Korean barbecue meat.
Meat?
Yeah.
Galbi chicken.
Okay. I've like never heard you order that. So I'm gonna go down to three. Galbi chicken. I'm gonna go back down
Granted,
to
when we go
three.
to Korean barbecue, I only ordered like three things.
Bulgogi.
Yeah, I only ordered bulgogi. That's it. And then
Oh,
I'll get whatever else everyone else wants. I'll eat everything, but
that's funny. Galbi chicken. Okay. So that was three questions, right? Um, what's another good one? Um, let's do let's do television series.
man, Community.
Ugh, I think I vaguely recall you saying that you enjoyed Community. Man, this is throwing me off. All right, I'm gonna go back to a five. I'll go back to a five. All right, my last one is uh let's do favorite Mexican food item, food item. Or not favorite, but a Mexican
Yeah,
food
yeah.
item.
I rate Mexican food. Carne asada.
Oh, carne asada. That's your go-to for grilling, but is it because it's just easy or you actually like it? Hmm. So you said midship, Iron Man 2, chicken galbi, carne asada, and community. I'm gonna final answer five.
All right, it was 6.
Damn it!
So it
Dang
was close. It
it!
was close.
Dang it!
Yeah, carne
Oh,
asada is like solid, but I mean, I usually don't go for that. If I'm getting Mexican food, if you ever hear me order like a burrito, never order a carne asada burrito. Never.
well, that's like
Yeah,
your chicken galbi really threw me off because like you've never ordered
but I'll
that.
eat it.
Okay.
Like, and
I
if I'm craving chicken one day, sure I'll get it. But it's
but chicken at Korean barbecue a six. Come on, man. Come on.
no. What would you put that at? Like a 3?
That's like a three or a two for you. You never ordered chicken at Korean barbecue. Never, never. But yeah, man, that's the game. So
All
it's
right.
fun because normally you can play in groups, and then so each like
Everyone's
number.
trying to figure it out. Yeah.
No, there's one person guessing, but each person gives their own rating of something. So it's harder
Okay.
because you have to like really know the people in the group, and you have to decipher like
Yeah. And every person
what they're
has a
thinking
different
as a rating.
number,
Ex-
or
no,
is it?
they're rating the same number.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a fun game.
yeah,
Do you want to try it?
yeah. Let's do it.
All right. All right. You got a number?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What can you rate? I'm trying to think how well I know you. Favorite or rating Switch video games.
A Switch video game. Oh, Animal Crossing.
You played that a lot. So I'm thinking like 8, 9, or 10 right now. Uh okay. Rating desserts.
Desserts. Hmm. Tres leches. Cake.
Oh, I would rate that pretty high. And I know you don't like anything chocolatey, so I feel like
Mm,
chocolates would be near the bottom. Okay, okay. Uh, uh, favorite place you've visited, or like rating. A place you visited, like a state or a country.
Uh, New Orleans.
New Orleans. I don't know anything about your New Orleans trip. That was probably a bad one.
What do you know besides Hawaii?
I know, right? Okay,
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Superhero.
Oh, Green Lantern.
Gross.
Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern.
Ryan Reynolds. Okay, and then uh R&B singer.
Ooh, I knew it was gonna be something music related. Uh, R&B singer. Brian McKnight.
Ooh, that's high. I'm going with 9. That's my final answer.
It was an 8.
It was an 8. Oh,
It was 8. It
all
was
right.
8.
I was
Close.
close.
Close. Hey, you're good. Hey, man, one number
Yeah.
apart. That's not bad.
Brian McKnight's up there though. Who you have above Brian McKnight for R&B singer?
I mean, you said singer. You know, there's groups that
I
I
guess. Yeah,
prefer,
that's true.
and there's like Tevin Campbell. You know, always gonna be number 10 for me.
Ugh,
But anyways, yeah, that's the
that's
game,
dope.
man.
That's awesome. It's a
So,
fun game. We'll play
so
more often, but yeah, that
yeah,
was
next time
awesome.
we're in a group, just gonna throw it out there like in the pod, just like, all right, my wavelength. Here we go.
Bet.
But good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Great catching up. Great catching up.
you too, man. If I don't see you, have fun. Have fun in New York. Wishing you guys the
Likewise.
best. Eat all the foods.
Yeah. Thank you. To have so much fun at your mom's fiesta
Yep, it'll be fun. We'll have stuff to catch up on after this.
for sure.
All right,
Well,
man.
thanks everyone for watching. Have a great night. God bless.
God bless.